Welcome to You Make the Difference. I'm Wanda Walker, and today I'm talking to Bart McFadden, who is the Chief Professional Officer of the Boys and Girls Club of West Georgia. Welcome to the show, Bart.
Thank you so much, Wanda. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes. Now tell us about the Boys and Girls Club in LaGrange and Hogansville.
Well, what we do is we provide daily after-school, non-school day programs for kids who are school age, so kindergarten all the way through high school. And we provide programs, activities each day after school that are really intended to create positive outcomes in the areas of academic success, good character and citizenship, and healthy lifestyles.
And tell me how well you've done with the academic success.
Well, we've done very well. We've got a lot to be proud of. The programming has created a lot of great outcomes for kids. The kids who come to our club on a regular basis, and we define that as 2 or more days a week, are really outperforming at a much higher rate in terms of school attendance, discipline in school, and then performance on state tests and in the core classes, which are some key indicators. They're really outperforming the student body as a whole for Troup County. So it's really encouraging and really exciting.
That is amazing, isn't it?
Absolutely. Well, it's the product of a lot of hard work of our staff and our board, who really have made an intentional effort to make an impact in that area, and our programming is really designed to do that.
And you've seen a lot of growth at the Boys and Girls Club since you moved from Juniper Street to Cannon Street School. Tell me, how much growth have you seen?
Well, I mean, in 2013, we served 473 kids, and which is a great number. But in 2014, in conjunction with the move from Juniper Street to Cannon Street in LaGrange, we served 683 kids in 2014, which was an increase of 44% total number of kids. And the daily attendance, which is a key indicator for us, increased from roughly 200 kids a day to almost 280 kids a day on a daily basis. So significant growth. It's come in terms of numbers, but it's also come in terms of budget size and the financial health of the organization as well.
Were you expecting to grow that much?
Yeah, I mean, that was absolutely the intent. When we went from Juniper Street to Cannon Street, our intent was to basically double the number of kids we served in and around LaGrange specifically, and we've come very close to doing that. It was a very ambitious goal at the time, and we learned a lot through the process, but we're very close to meeting that number of doubling over the course of the last year and a half.
Now, I know you're real proud of the Hogansville Center, too.
Absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about the Hogansville Center.
Hogansville Club is located at Hogansville Elementary School, so it serves kindergarten through 5th grade kids. And Miss Debbie Dollar, who is our director up there, her staff, they do an exceptional job. I always tell people, if I had a kid, they would go to Hogansville. You go in there, it's just such a warm, positive, exciting environment for kids. And we've got tremendous support from the city up there and from the school system, and a lot of great opportunities for kids in Hogansville. And it really meets the needs of the kids and their families.
Yes. Now, I want you to talk about your 2015 goals for the Boys and Girls Club.
Well, we've embarked on a new strategic plan. Our previous strategic plan kind of took us through this transition to Cannon Street, and we obviously accomplished that in 2014. So as we're moving forward, we've established a new strategic plan that'll take us through 2017, which will actually be our organization's 25th anniversary. And what that plan calls for us to do, as I shared, 683 kids in 2014. This plan calls for us to be serving 1,200 kids a year by the end of 2017.
Wow.
And that 1,200 number is really important from a number of standpoints. Obviously, there's a lot of kids in Troup County that need this kind of program, these kind of relationships. But that 1,200 number represents roughly 10% of the student body of Troup County Public Schools. So if you can get to that number, you can really start seeing much more, apparent evidence of impact, and start maybe seeing some of these statistics that we see in our community turn a corner for the good.
Yes. Now tell me what you have to offer for teenage children.
Well, our programming for teens has really grown in the last couple of years, and we talk about goals as we move forward. That's one of those key things that we really want to place a specific emphasis on. Everybody wants you to serve teens, but teens are a difficult population in a lot of ways. So our number of teens has grown significantly in the last couple of years, and it's grown not necessarily through recruitment, but through retention. keeping
Oh,
those
yes.
kids as they transition from 5th grade to 6th grade and from 8th grade to 9th grade. Those are crucial years. Statistics show so many kids kind of fall off the path in 6th and 9th grade, those transition years. So our program is really intended to help support them in those transition years, but also really what we want to do is we want to create opportunities for our kids to experience things they wouldn't otherwise. And with Think Academy coming online for Troup County here in the very near future, it's a phenomenal resource for kids. It's a great asset to the community. But the reality is many of the kids we serve and many low-income kids have not had and don't get the opportunity to have those foundational experiences in the career paths that are going to be offered at Think Academy. So one of the things that we're really working to do is create those opportunities for our club members to experience mechatronics, the medical field, all of those kinds of things that they're
Wow.
offering and Think through project-based learning experiences, very similar to what we've done in the past with all of our other programming. And then the other thing we want to do with our teens is prepare them. We hear so frequently in this community, kids don't have soft skills.
Right.
And
And adults.
Adults too,
Sometimes,
absolutely, because
yes.
these kids become adults. We have adopted different terminology in our club. They're not necessarily soft skills, they're essential skills.
Yes.
And it's that communication, it's that teamwork, it's that spirit of collaboration, bringing positive energy to the table. And so we really work to do that with our kids and give them the opportunities to develop those skills. And it comes through these project-based learning experiences that they have.
Okay. So describe for me what a typical day at the Boys and Girls Club would be.
Well, it depends how old you are and what your interests are, because we've really worked to create an environment that can meet to the greatest extent possible within our resources, can meet the needs and the interest of each and every kid. But I'll take a kid, let's say we've got a young man who's 9 years old. He's going to come in, he's going to hop off that bus every day, he's going to come into the club, and the first thing he's going to do is he's going to get a snack and he's going to get his homework done. And he's going to be with the same staff member each day to get that homework done. That level of consistency is important because it provides for much smoother communication between the club staff, the parent, and the
Yes.
school. So we've got those great partnerships there in place. And so they're going to get that homework done, and then they're going to go into their rotation or special program times, and they're going to get experiences in our STEM lab, our science and technology lab, the computer lab, the art room, the game room, where you got your pool tables, your ping pong tables, all those things that are kind of old school Boys and Girls Club things that really is where life is learned. We talk about those soft skills. Those are developed in the games room. You learn how to win, you learn how to lose, you learn how to work it out.
Yes.
And so those happen in the games room. We've got a ton of fitness and nutrition and wellness programming, which is a big partnership we have with West Georgia Health. So they're going to get that comprehensive experience in that regard, but then they're also going to get the opportunity to participate in some special programs, whether it's our violin program that we have in partnership with the LaGrange Symphony Orchestra, the club choir that we have, the gardening program, which is a partnership with District 4 Public Health and the hospital. So they get a very comprehensive, broad-based experience each and every day.
Yes. It seems like somebody has really thought of everything that you could do for young people to make them advance and put it together.
Well, Boys and Girls Club has a 150-plus year history on a national level, and things come together through trial and error.
Yes.
And as a national movement, we've done this for many, many years, and you've got 4,000 clubs across the country, so you've got every club kind of working in tandem to develop and sharpen the experiences for kids that we provide them every day.
And you have some flexibility in what you offer, is that right?
Absolutely. You're going to tailor the programming to the needs of your community. I've been in clubs before where you needed to focus on youth sports because there was a void in that community of youth sports opportunities for club kids. That's not necessarily as much the case here because we have a great Parks and Rec system. For us, it's focusing on those soft skills and the academic enrichment piece, making sure that kids get new and unique experiences.
Yes. Now, also during the summer, you're open and children come to
All
the
day,
club.
every day.
All day, every day. And so tell me what coming to the club in the summer is like.
Well, in the summer we're open from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. And really the rationale for our hours, that's one thing that really differentiates us from a lot of other youth serving programs, is the frequency and the time which we're open. We are open when kids and parents need us most. You know, all the kids who come to the club, their parents work, many of them multiple jobs.
Yes.
So, and we know that, you know, if you're working a manufacturing job, your shifts are going to be somewhat chaotic and sometimes unpredictable. So we're there to accommodate that to the greatest extent possible. So in the summer, we're open from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. So it's 11 hours that parent has that they can work long shifts or whatever. And it really helps us meet the needs of those families. And it helps families really maximize their resources. But in the summer, our programming is once again project-based. So this summer, all of our clubs will be doing Cruise Around the World. So each week, the kids will learn about a different country. They'll learn about the language, the history, the culture, food, games, all those kinds of things. It's very much an immersion experience. And then at the end of the summer, we'll kind of create, for lack of a better visual, Epcot at Disney World, and they'll have kind of a walking exhibit where each group will take a country and put forth something that represents what they learned about that country.
Well, it's something that adults would like to come to too.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's a great opportunity for parents, for community members to come in and really see the essence of what happens in our clubs each and every day.
Yes, and tell me about the price of coming to the Boys and Girls Club.
Well, one thing that we really strive to do is to maintain very affordable fees. Our mission statement says to inspire and enable all youth, especially those that need us most. And the reality is we know many families in this community have low incomes, not because they don't work, because that's just the reality.
Yes.
And so our fees are very affordable, and we're never going to turn a child away for an inability to pay. Our fee for the summer is $80, and that covers 9 weeks.
Wow.
So it's less than $10 a week. During the school year, most of our families pay $20 because of the partnerships that we have with some of the Medicaid providers. But our full cost is $70 for the school year.
Okay, and so $20
for the school year.
For the school year.
That covers you from August
Wow.
all the way to May, and days when they're out of school, spring break, all those kinds of things.
That is
So
awesome.
we're open, full day.
And that brings us to your fundraiser.
Absolutely.
And you're about to have a fundraiser, and the name of it is?
Turn Back the Clock for Great Futures. For the last couple of years, we've done an event called Oscar Night, which was a black tie event, and it was very, very successful for us. But we wanted to put a different slant on it this year and have some flexibility with the date, which Oscar Night didn't necessarily provide. And so we've adopted Turn Back the Clock for Great Futures, and this is going to be a 5-year plan for us, and this is the first year. And we'll do decade-themed parties each year,
Yes.
beginning this year with the 1950s. So wear your poodle skirts, wear your rolled-up jeans, whole 9 yards. We'll have club kids there performing. I think they're going to be performing Blue Suede Shoes, the club
Yes.
choir is, so we're excited about that. We'll have music, food, and it'll really take people back, hopefully, to a time when life seemed a whole lot simpler and a whole lot more positive.
Okay, and where is it going to be, and when is it, and how much does it cost?
The event's going to be on March 7th, which is a Saturday night at Highland Country Club from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock. The couples tickets are available for $125, and that's all-inclusive food, drinks, everything, entertainment, whole 9 yards. We'll also have silent and live auction items as well.
Okay, and individual tickets are $75.
Individual
isn't that
tickets
right?
are $75. So
Yes.
absolutely.
So it sounds like it's going to be a really fun time.
We're very excited right now. Our numbers have been very good so far, so we're really excited. A lot of people are jumping on board with us, which is very important because in talking about keeping those prices of participation very affordable for families, we've got to make that gap up through the support of the community to keep the program vibrant and active for kids. So this is an important event to us, and we're excited about it, and we're really looking forward to it.
And I guess you could probably order a poodle skirt off the internet,
You
right?
can order. I was looking at one of my staff members the other day. She was online and she was looking for the poodle skirt and the plaid vest or whatever
Yes.
it is, and so she's ready to rock and roll. So I know everybody else can be as well.
Yes. Now, I know one of the ways that you are building character at the Boys and Girls Club is through having them participate in service projects.
Absolutely.
Tell me a couple of the service projects and what they're doing.
Well, we feel strongly that every kid has something they can give back regardless of circumstance, and so we place a significant emphasis on service and serving others, and that's part of our youth development strategy, developing a sense of usefulness in their community. So we do a couple of service projects. Obviously, our community garden is a community service
Yes.
project because every time we harvest, we distribute the fruits and vegetables and whatever we have to the club families when they're picking up every night. We've also got an adoptive grandparent program, which is a partnership once again with West Georgia Health, where we take club kids over to Florence Hand Home. And they interact with the residents, play games, sing songs, have Bible study, the whole 9 yards. And it's really exciting for the residents there. And it's a great opportunity for our kids to understand that they have value and worth to other people, and that they have a responsibility to exercise that.
Tell me how they have responded to going out to the Florence Hand and participating with those that are there.
They love it, and they've all kind of got their resident that they're kind of paired with, and it's really a great experience, and they look forward to that opportunity every time it comes around. They, if we have to postpone it for whatever reason, they're chomping at the bit for the next opportunity to go, because it really does something for the residents, but it does something for our kids, and that it really does teach that self-worth that many kids, regardless of background, struggle to find these days.
Yes, and the Boys and Girls Club pulls from the community to help provide programs and services to the youth there. Right. Tell me about some of the people who come in and brought a program, or organizations who have come in and brought a program to the Boys and Girls Club.
Well, when we set out on this, on our strategic plan a couple of years ago to get us where we are today, one of the things that we made a particular point of emphasis was partnerships. And we've got a wealth of resources here in LaGrange and Troup County as a whole, and it was about being able to kind of collaborate with them and align the services and align the resources behind the targeted goal of serving kids. So we've really been successful with that. Have a large number of partners, whether you look at LaGrange Art Museum, with whom we do regular programming, but last summer we did an architecture program that really focused on the concepts of architecture and city building, so they learned a lot about that. Mayor Thornton was in to speak to the kids through that process. Paige Estes was in, and then Skip Smith came in and spoke along the architecture front. LaGrange Symphony Orchestra, as I mentioned earlier, with the violin and strings program. West Georgia Health is a great partner. LaGrange College is just very much a steadfast partner in everything we do, giving our kids the opportunity to get on campus, which is very important. So there's a large number of those partners in the community. One of the newest partnerships we've got that's blossomed very quickly is partnership with the Troup Harris Library. And our kids from LaGrange go over there weekly. Our kids from Hogansville go to the Hogansville Library daily.
Wow.
And it really provides a unique opportunity for them, because libraries aren't just books anymore. It's a lot of, real world learning, and our kids at Hogansville go over there for maker time, where they simply make, build, and create things. And it really taps into their creativity and helps develop that aspect of kids' mental development.
Yes. Now you have a partnership with LaGrange College and Think Career
Absolutely.
and Academy,
Absolutely.
and also the Troup School System. Tell me
Absolutely.
about those partnerships.
Well, we believe strongly that you have to build a team around every kid. And we're part of that team. The school system's part of that team. Referring back to what we were talking about earlier with Think, we got to create a pipeline for kids. And from the time they start in early learning programs with United Way, transitioning into us when they're in kindergarten, on into when they get into high school, and helping them capitalize on the opportunity with Think Academy. The schools have been a tremendous partner on a number of levels. Helping kids get there every day, providing that transportation from school to the Boys and Girls Club, which is vitally important.
Yes.
But also helping us get in the classroom, have that communication with the teacher, between club staff, and hey, what's going on with this kid? Here's what we're seeing. Is this what you're seeing? How can we support one another to make sure this kid has the greatest opportunity for success?
Yes, well, I know you're a blessing to the school system.
Well, we appreciate the partnership that they've provided, and they've been so open and receptive in the last couple of years, and They're not the school system's kids. They're not our Boys and Girls Club kids. They're our kids as a community.
That's right.
And we've got to access and activate every resource because it's hard being a kid today. I don't care where you live, what your background is. It's hard being a child. There's so many negative forces. And so we've all got to align our resources and team up to help win the battle for them.
Yes, and the children appreciate it, don't they?
Yeah, kids do. Kids just they want to succeed. They want to achieve. They want to please people. And so often we lower expectations. We do all these things, and we really don't allow kids to experience real success. And through this program and through a partnership with the Kiwanis Club even,
Yes.
recognizing real success of our kids, and holding those standards high because kids want to achieve it. And they'll work hard to do it.
And encouragement goes so far, doesn't it?
It's all about relationships.
It is. Now, Bart, you participated in the Boys and Girls Club,
Absolutely,
right? Tell me
absolutely.
about your experience with the Boys and Girls Club.
I was a club kid, grew up in the Boys and Girls Club in Johnson City, Tennessee, and as I shared, it's all about the relationships. And I was very fortunate, especially when I was a teenager. I was not a bad kid by any stretch of the imagination, but my parents got divorced, so that created a void, and Dad wasn't around as much at that point in time, so that relationship kind of waned. And in that void stepped a group of staff members from the club who made sure I stayed on track, made sure that I had those expectations, and literally to this day, the gentleman who was the director of that club passed away in April of last year. But up until his death, he and I were still talking frequently, probably on a weekly basis. So it's truly about the relationships.
Yes. When did you know you wanted to get involved in the Boys and Girls Club as a leader?
Well, I kind of dabbled in a couple of other career opportunities, whether it's college athletics and some other things. But when I finished my master's degree in 2005, I decided I wanted to get back in club work and blanketed the Southeast with resumes, activated the old network, if you will, and ended up in Orlando, Florida with a tremendous organization, had tremendous leadership there and learned a whole lot. Pretty much everything I learned there we've been able to put to great use in developing this organization here to be better for kids.
Yes. Now, you've gotten great support from the community, but is there anything else that you need from the community? Is there any other way that we can support you?
Well, as we're aspiring, I mean, we always hear, I mean, as much progress as we've made, the need of kids continues to grow.
Yes.
And, statistics bear that out. In 2013, Department of Juvenile Justice defined 6,700 kids in Troup County as at risk. In 2014, that number increased to 6,900 kids. So the need of kids continues to progress. We've got to continue to grow, at the very least at the same pace as the need, just to maintain traction. So we need the community to continue to support, continue to learn about what we do. Come visit a club, get engaged, either through supporting events, volunteering your time, because it's very important and it affects us all. I don't care where you live, if you have kids or not, this really is a quality of life issue for the community as a whole. That if our kids are on track to great futures, the community will be as well.
Yes. So that brings us back to your event, and we're going to review that event so that if people were listening and thought, I might like to go to that, we're going to say where it is. The name of the event is
Turn Back the Clock for Great Futures. So, like I said, we get to go back in time a little bit and remember our childhoods or what was great about our communities and life back in the 50s.
Yes. And so where can they get the tickets?
They can call our office, Boys and Girls Clubs of West Georgia. They can call our office, or they can visit our website, which is www.begreatwestgeorgia.org.
Okay, and the event is for Saturday?
Saturday, March 7th from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock at Highland Country Club.
Great. Okay, and we got just a few more minutes. Let's share some stories about meaningful moments that you have had with the children at the Boys and Girls Club.
Well, there's a lot of them, but I would really highlight two kids who we've developed a tremendous level of rapport with and made a tremendous impact on in the last year. And they're both teens, strangely enough, and both of them, when we talk about partnerships, have come to us through the Circles of Troup County program. And one is a young man. He's a sophomore at Callaway High School. Very tough situation, but he just has something in him that's very unique. And was struggling in the first semester this year with geometry. We got him plugged in with a couple of the tutors that come from LaGrange College, and I looked at his grades on Infinite Campus, and this is where it takes everybody. I looked at his grades on Infinite Campus the other day, and he's 1 point shy of having straight A's right now.
Wow.
So, and that was a celebratory moment. The deal he and I have is, and he's never done it. He's never done it in 10, 11 years of school. If you make the AB honor roll, we're going to go have steak dinner. And he doesn't get to do that very often. So he's excited about that opportunity. He's got to finish out this 9 weeks strong, but I think he's on track. And then another young lady is the young lady who was our Youth of the Year last year, Miss Helena Nixon. And she's a junior at LaGrange High and has overcome a whole lot. And once again, just has something deep inside that drives her for something better. And one of the neatest things was she comes in a few weeks ago, dressed very well on a school day. And she worked for us last summer in our employment program, as I was talking about earlier. And she comes in, and I'm like, dressed very nice today. What's up? And she said, well, I had an interview today. So she had a short interview. She had gone through the job search process completely independently. I'm like, well, did you have any help? She goes, no, I knew how to do it after what we did last summer. So she took what she learned at the club. She applied it in a real life scenario, and she's part of the workforce now. So,
yes.
And she's got a great future ahead of her.
Yes, and I know both of those young people, and they are exceptional young people.
They truly are.
You can just tell about the young man that he's very supportive of his mother.
Yes, he is.
And he's very supportive of his little brother.
Yes, he is.
And then also the young girl has really come a long way in her ability to speak to groups.
Absolutely.
And I know Sherry
Yes.
with Circles is just delighted in what's happened in their lives, and we're really...
This is how you change lives. You team up and you tackle it together, and great things can happen.
Yes. So I would just like to encourage all of you to support Bart and the Boys and Girls Club and come to the event that he is having, Turn Back the Clock for Great Futures, and we hope to see you there. Thank you for watching You Make the Difference, because you truly do.
Got a promise from heaven. It's a year of replevin.